Thank you, Brian. Rick Rowe, Behind the Badge. You know, there are a lot of incredible men and women in law enforcement, but nobody as big as this buddy right here, this big old guy. This is Buck Wilkins. In fact, when people meet him, not only do they notice, but some of them say, just how big a boy are you? I watched a big old boy walk down a hall the other day, and it reminded me of someone.
Randy, my name is Roy D. Mercer. Listen, I was in your shop and bought
Roy D. Mercer. He was always mad about something.
I don't let nobody talk to my wife that way. I've been married to that woman 22 years. She won't even let me talk to her that way.
Always threatening to beat somebody up.
By God, you're going to have a little more workman's comp on your hands after I get through with you. You going to be down there all day today?
But just in case, he would always ask that question.
That's right, you're going to get one. How big old boy are you?
You know, I don't think Roy D. Mercer ever got an answer this big. How big a fella are you?
Right now, I'm 6'8". I weigh right at 400 pounds.
How big a boy are you? Say you wanna whoop my behind.
Buck Wilkins has to be one of the largest lawmen in this part of the country. When he shows up, people notice.
They're like, man, you got out of that car, you just kept coming and coming.
At the Bossier Sheriff's Office, they just call him the Gentle Giant.
Yeah, I've been called that a lot.
And are you glad to be called that?
They can call me anything they want, as long as they're nice about it.
What makes a good cop?
Somebody that has empathy and knows how to treat people with respect and dignity.
In 30 years, Big Buck has seen a lot of good.
People just, they talk to you, they say hi to you, they offer to buy you a coffee.
And some really bad.
Seeing a lifeless body of a child that fell in a pool or jumped in a pool and nobody was paying attention, it really gets to you.
But the best part is a few days before Christmas.
Hey, what bag? I gotta get out of here.
Buck puts on a red suit and ho-ho-hos his way all over Bossier Parish.
But everybody has gifts in there, okay?
Okay. What do we say?
Thank you.
Well, y'all have a very Merry Christmas, okay? Y'all want to take a picture with Santa?
Yeah, come on, let's take a picture. Let's go.
Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
In 30 years in law enforcement, Buck has not had to fire his weapon or been fired at. Maybe it has something to do with that question Roy D. Mercer always asks.
Boy, how big a boy are you?
But maybe it's something else.
Yep, I got a book right here. It's called Behind the Badge, 365 Devotions for Law Enforcement that I look at every day. My wife bought this for me. Just to give me something else to keep on my mind.
How about that? Behind the Badge. We thought we came up with that title. Nope, it's already been printed out in a devotional that Buck reads every day, 365 days a week. You've got a devotional. Big guy, nice guy. Loved, everybody I talked to about Buck told me, well, he's just a gentle giant. Wouldn't hurt a flea unless he has to. Of course, that's the way it is with these guys. They really don't want to hurt anybody. They don't want to arrest anybody. They certainly don't want to put people in jail. But when they have to, when people make bad decisions, that's what they have to do. And I guarantee you they won't mess with the big man right here. Just how big a boy are you? Nate and Shannon, coming back to you.
I love it too, and you know, of course he's on the beat, but I'm thinking about those little kids when Santa walks in and they're just like, that is the biggest Santa Claus I've ever seen in my life. That's great.
It was fun.
Yeah. All right, very cool. Thank you, Rick.
Absolutely right, Nate, and they don't come any bigger than this guy. This is Big Buck Wilkins, all 6'8", 400 plus pounds of him. Yes, he did play a little high school football at Benton High School. Had some problems with your feet, couldn't go on to college or professional. Did do some professional wrestling.
Did a little bit of professional wrestling.
And then at 24, decided to go into law enforcement.
Yes, sir.
And glad you did.
Glad I did.
Been a good career.
Yes, sir, it has. It's going to pay off in the end.
Amen. You're right. You guys retire really well.
Exactly.
and deservedly. Let's talk about your career in law enforcement. What's the best thing about wearing the badge and the uniform?
Being able to help people. You know, a lot of places they don't like police, but here in Bossier Parish, you know, it's a different story. We have a lot of people that love us.
Absolutely.
And it makes you feel good to wear the badge.
Amen. They buy you coffee, buy you lunch.
Exactly.
I remember you telling me you went to work on Christmas and a couple came up to you and gave you a Starbucks card or something like that and just drove off.
Exactly.
That's beautiful. All right, toughest thing about being in law enforcement?
Dealing with crimes against children and domestic violence is probably the worst deal because you never know what's coming at you.
Right. I know you've talked about finding a child that has drowned is tough.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But you know what? Thank God you're there. When there is a situation like that, you guys are there. The fire department is there. The paramedics as well. Never had to use never been shot at. Thank God. Never had to use your weapon.
Never had to use a weapon.
And would rather not have to.
Would rather not have to.
And that's pretty much what everybody in law enforcement says.
Yes, sir.
I would assume that your size speaks enough.
It does.
When you show up, what do people say?
I didn't do it.
And that's all that needs to be
That's all.
said.
You know, they're like, I'm not running from you. You know, evidently, they don't want me to tackle them. You know,
Yeah.
not that I could run very fast, but you know, we have tasers and stuff for that.
Yes, yes. So you really don't want to get physical with people. You'd rather not have to arrest somebody. You certainly don't want to put people in jail. I mean, that's not your desire.
That's, you know, they put themselves in jail. We just take them there. You know, they're the one that commit the crimes.
Amen. Very good point. You're proud of your family. You got 2 kids.
2 kids.
Wonderful wife.
A wonderful wife and 3
grandbabies.
Lovely grandkids.
Let me ask you, as we wind up here, the folks watching this morning, what would you say to them in terms of how they should respond when you show up?
Just listen to what the police tell you to do. If they tell you to put your hands up, stick your hands out the window, if on a traffic stop, just listen to the officer and everything will be fine.
Just comply.
Just comply, because without compliance, you know, you're going to argue with somebody.
There's almost never
That's not what we want.
That's right. There's almost never a problem when you just do what you're told to do. If you got a beef, settle it later, but not on the scene. Just do what you're asked to do.
That's right.
All right, proud to wear the badge one more time?
Very proud.
Tell me why.
Just helping people and knowing that I can better my community by doing so.
Boy, that's true. And I know that in this part of the country, and that's what I love about the heat. Jeff's asking me to stand right next to you. This is embarrassing to me, okay, because I wanted to be him. My dream as a little boy was to play professional football. Then I ended up 5'8", 170. I said, that's not going to happen. So, and you could have. This guy could have played professional ball, had some injuries, and it just didn't happen for you. But, buddy, we're glad you're in law enforcement. It's people like you that make us proud of the men and women who wear the badge. And by the way, how big a fella is he? 5'8", 6'8", 400 plus pounds. Nate and Shannon, coming back to you.
That camera angle, too, makes you look, Rick, like a little leprechaun next to him.
Yeah. I was wondering, too, it's got to be...
A munchkin.
It's got to be tough finding shoes. Rick,
Clothes,
before our
shoes.
next hit, too, you got to find out the shoe size. Because I'm sure he doesn't just walk into Foot Locker and pull off a size 16.
Well, probably the NBA players
They
and he have a
all have
lot
to
in
be
common.
custom made. You're right.
Thank you, guys.
Well, if you know anyone involved with any police department in the Arklatex or any first responder or agency and want to tell their story and show the human side of law enforcement, email those stories to behindthebadge@ktbs.com.